Hello, everybody. With Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan continuing to act as an incorrigible procrastinator, the separatists in Khankandi behaving unreasonably, and international mediators failing to be of sufficiently palpable consequence, the tensions on the ground, both in Karabakh and along the conditional state border between Azerbaijan and Armenia, are likely to escalate further. It is a positive development that on the 12th of September, the truck of the Russian Red Cross finally travelled via the Ardam-Khankandi road after being delayed in Barda due to the opposition of the separatist junta and reported obstruction caused by the RCRC, International Committee of the Red Cross. This arrangement was fully in line with Azerbaijani legislation, complying with the principle of territorial integrity. But as presidential aide Hikmet Hajiyev clarified earlier, it would be a misinterpretation to confuse this with the suggestion that connects lifting the restrictions on the Lachen border checkpoint with the opening of the Ardam-Khankandi road. There is still an unmistakable order of confrontation on the ground that won't fade away unless a breakthrough can be achieved. The separatist junta should be dissolved and disarmed once and for all. Half measures won't do. In this way, in the fact that Pashinyan refrained from issuing an official statement on the so-called sham elections in Khankandi could be viewed as commendable, but not sufficient. Let me say a couple of words about Nikol Pashinyan and his modus operandi. He's a compulsive procrastinator and time waster in the Azerbaijani-Armenian peace process. He is inherently incapable of constructive dialogue. Pashinyan is not a man of his promise. His words are never final, and is always prone to backtracking. When he ascended to power in Armenia in 2018, surmounting the power of the actual president, there were some hopes that he would be different to his Karabakh-born predecessors. International mediators and Pashinyan himself tried to persuade the Azerbaijani leadership that he would act differently, and he needed some time to show his mettle. He was given an inexorable period to do so. But what was the result? Pashinyan declared in 2019 that Karabakh is Armenia and full stop, obstructing the whole peace process. Again, a similar pattern manifested itself after the war of 2020. Baku and Yerevan decided that the sides should sign an agreement with no mention of Karabakh and related issues, and the subject in question was recognized by Armenia as an internal issue of Azerbaijan. Again, the received impression was that Pashinyan needed some time to prepare his local population to take actions towards peace. And what did he do? Subsequently, Armenian Prime Minister reinforced his demands for an international mechanism to ensure the rights and security of Karabakh Armenians, simultaneously engaging in remedial secession games. His policy was and is predicated on the creed that Armenia is ready to recognize Azerbaijan's territorial integrity across 86,600 square kilometers, including Karabakh, but there should be an international presence in Karabakh itself, monitoring the implementation of security guarantees and rights for the local Armenian population. This would effectively signal the inception of a second Minsk process, keeping the Karabakh component unresolved and the return of the unacceptable no peace and no war situation. This takes us on to the question of the mutual recognition of territorial integrity between Azerbaijan and Armenia. An agreement was initially reached in Prague in October 2022, then specified with figures on the 14th of May 2023, with further reiterations following subsequently. First of all, there is no legally binding agreement as yet. Secondly, Armenia's expressed readiness to recognize Azerbaijani territorial integrity is incomplete. Yerevan still continues to funnel money into the separatist junta and refuses to withdraw the remnants of its armed formations from the region, with some of its official statements being rightly perceived in Azerbaijan as a territorial claim. In response to this, Baku's own approach to Armenia's territorial integrity is incomplete as well. The mirror effect is absolutely inevitable. The Azerbaijani-Armenian border is undelimited, and if due to any escalation Baku gains some positions in the grey zone between Azerbaijan and Armenia, it will not retract. and this degree of unpredictability is unhelpful. Pashinyan's insistence on the humanitarian exclusivity of the Lachun road is another element in his approach which does not square with his stated preparedness to recognize Azerbaijani territorial integrity. But the facts on the ground are steadily changing, despite Pashinyan's shilly-shallying. Pashinyan has retained his essential behavioral pattern. He always needs some time, and once that is granted, he always plays for time. He is incapable of making a concrete decision. It is only under duress that he is capable of being reasonable. Application of force is the only persuasive power to which he responds. It is highly improbable he will change anytime soon. Dr. Robert Cutler, Eurasian and European energy and international security expert, recently gave a brilliant description as to Pashinyan's modus operandi. He said, "It is almost as if he is going in all directions all at once to see what works best for him. This would imply that if he has any long-term perspective, then this is focused on maintaining and maximizing his own power and influence. In Pashinyan's behavior, we see short-term tactical moves not integrated into a long-term strategic plan. He is as directionless as a myopic prizefighter and consistently inconsistent." And as to the Armenian public, diaspora and political classes, mental gymnastics and self-delusional hoary thinking prevail there. Armenia is in the realm of somnambulistic kickboxing, wallowing in a quagmire of its own making. It seems only a proper shock can jolt a nation of this detestable misery and make it see a spade as a shovel. Perhaps that is what it needs so badly now. Perhaps. Thank you very much.